day. You have tuned in to Sister's Heart, where we stream live on IntellectualRadio.com via iHeartRadio, as well as Facebook Live. I'm your host, Kim, and it is a beautiful day. It's a great day to be here, and I'm excited for it. Again, happy Father's Day to all of you dads, all of you fathers. Ladies, let's not try to steal this day. I understand that some of you all are standing in the gap, and the dad is not present. However, it doesn't make you a father. So I don't even think that we should be telling women Happy Father's Day. That's just my personal opinion. That's, I think, why a lot of our young men are confused today. As I said last week in our show, sons are looking like daughters, and daughters are looking like sons. So nevertheless, Happy Father's Day. Really, Happy Father's Day. Whether you're in your life, your child's life, or not, you played a role in getting that little, I call them little people, that little person into this world. So Happy Father's Day to you. If you're not, in their life, then work to do better. But needless to say, I'm not here to talk about that today. You guys know my role as Sister's Heart is to drop a word that's going to make you think, drop a word that's going to motivate you, encourage you, and of course, empower you. The focus a lot of times is on the women, but realistically, Sister's Heart is all about the people. So I wanted to share this word with you that the Lord had given me realistically on Thursday. I believe it was on Thursday. I was out with my church, Restoration Tabernacle Bible Church. You guys know my pastor, Bishop Christopher L. Johnson, and Lady Tabitha. I love them dearly. We were out, and my bishop spoke, and we were talking. He was talking about God and how God will deliver. And that word resonated with me because when we think about being delivered, it's oftentimes, of course, is connected to something that's stressful, that's negative, that's impacting our lives in a manner that's not positive. So I wanted to start the show with regards to where my bishop came from, okay? And he came from Psalms 50 and 15, and it reads, "Call upon me in the day of trouble. I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me," okay? And again, that's Psalms 50 and 15. And the word deliver has several meanings. And for the purpose of today's show, I'm going to use two of these. The first one means to do what you say you will do, or what people expect you to do, to provide the promised, wanted, or expected results. Okay? So again, you're going to do what you say, and say whatever it is that you said you're going to do, you're going to do it. And whatever people are expecting for you to do, you're going to do it. You're going to deliver on your word. And then the second one is to take something to a person or a place. So you're going to deliver it. You're going to take it from here, and you're going to move it to there. And, it amazes me how as people, how we think, okay? Because when I, again, thought about the word deliver, immediately it became a negative. It became negative to me. The aspect of expecting someone to deliver on what they said, it was negative to me. And I'm being so serious. I'm being so transparent because that's how we think. Who let us down with broken promises or outright lies? Who disappointed us? Those feelings of failure. So I had all this mixed emotion of being the word deliver, when in all actuality, God was moving me from my own personal feelings of the negative part of being delivered, but to the positive part of being delivered. Okay. And then we think about, what's going on in our lives, of course, that need to get us to a point where we need to be delivered, right? And I'm not talking about nothing other than, let's look at this for an example. Let's say, for example, you order a pizza and you expect the pizza to get there in 45 minutes. I think it's Domino's that says we'll get it there in 30 or something like that. But it comes to your house, later. It comes 15 minutes later. It comes 20 minutes late. Okay. No, I'm talking about when the pizza does not show up, that kind of disappointment in your life when you think about being delivered or something being delivered to you, when it just doesn't show up at all. Okay. So we get so distracted in the process of being delivered or things being delivered that we forget it is only God and God himself that can deliver. It's God and God himself that can deliver. We know that we are not to put our trust in man. And that's not to say that you can't, that you can't trust the person. It's not to say that you can't count on the person. But realistically, when they let you down, when they don't keep their word, it's not the end of the world. It's not like you're going to die. You're not going to die because someone didn't keep their word or didn't keep their promise. It's just that person, maybe at that time, in that moment, in that situation, maybe it's just that they're not the ones to get the job done. It could very well be that that's what the situation is. But it's God, and God himself is the only one that can deliver. So look at Jeremiah 15:11. This is in the NIV. Says, the Lord says, surely I will deliver you for a good purpose, right? God delivers us, and he delivers us for purpose. He doesn't just take us into a new place, take us into a new situation, take us into a new area of our lives for there to be no purpose. You're not going to be delivered just for you to sit back at home and eat bonbons. You're not going to be delivered just so that you can say, I'm delivered. But he does it for a purpose, and there's a reason behind it. And then 2 Timothy 4:18, and the NIT tells us, yes, and the Lord will deliver me from every evil act and will bring me safely into his heavenly kingdom. God will deliver on his promises. God will deliver on his word. But here's the kick. Are you ready to be delivered? Are you ready to be delivered? And you may be asking yourself, what does that mean? Yes, I'm ready to be delivered. I've been in this situation for so long. I've been out here for so long. Yes, I'm ready to be delivered. But some of us, realistically, we're not. We may think that we are. We begin to bargain with God. We begin to say, Lord, if you get me out of this storm, or Lord, if you get me out of this situation, I won't do that no more. And then, you turn around, 10 days later, and you do it all over again, the exact same thing that you just asked God to get you out of, or you may say, like, it's been too long and I'm tired of being used and abused. It could be a relationship. It could be on your job. It could be, in your, with your family, I'm talking about your immediate family. It could be just outright drama that you're just sick of. And then you turn around when you say that you're tired of it and tired of being there, you turn around and you stay. And a lot of times, especially in relationships, we stay for one reason and one reason alone. We say, well, because I love them. It could be him or her. We just say, because I love them. Now you want to get out, and you're telling the Lord that I'm tired and I'm ready to get out, but we stay there. We stay there and we stay in that situation. Listen, I'm not talking about covenant relationships, okay? I'm not talking about covenant marriages, so let's not get it twisted. I'm talking about that old shacking and snacking spirit that has a lot of folks, playing house. That's what I'm talking about when I talk about relationships. So I'm never going to speak against marriages, because you all know I'm for marriages. God is for marriages. He said that marriages are honorable and is eyesight. But I'm talking about when you're in a relationship that's going nowhere. You're being abused, you're being used, and all you're doing is shacking and snacking. You're playing wifey, and he's playing, well, now sometimes they ain't even playing husband, but you understand what I'm trying to say. It's going nowhere, and you want to be delivered from the situation. You want to be out of the situation, but yet you choose to stay in the situation. You, my friend, are not ready to be delivered. You, my friend, have not yet submitted to the process, because it's a process of being delivered. I learned a long time ago that if I wanted to be delivered, or set free from some people, places, and things, I had to look at Kim. Not at the situation, but I had to evaluate Kim. We've all heard, pray until something happens, or it's an acronym, PUSH, right? So we've heard it. The mothers have said it, pray until something happens, push. But many of us, understand and appreciate the process. And then many of us don't understand and appreciate the process. Because when you're talking about pushing, when you're talking about praying until something happens, you have to understand, and I like to think of it when you think of a woman about to give birth to a baby, okay? She has to wait until her cervix dilates 10 centimeters. She cannot push. The doctors will instruct her not to push. The nurses will instruct her not to push. She cannot push until she's dilated 10 centimeters, meaning she's got to be ready. Physically, the body has got to be ready before she can push, before she can deliver. The body has got to be ready. And there's 3 stages. Listen to this. There's 3 stages of labor. The first stage is the onset of true labor and the cervix dilating 10 centimeters. Okay. So it's the onset of true labor. And so often, many people have gone into what we call false labor. You start having pains and immediately you run to the hospital. You think that you're in labor and they'll send you home. They'll tell you you're not ready. You are not ready to deliver. They'll send you home. Or, we think that because we may have some pains in our back or we may see some spotting that we're ready to deliver. And they'll tell you you may need to rest. You may need to change some of your behaviors. You may need to change some of the things that you're doing, but you're still not ready to deliver. It's the process of true labor, and you dilating 10 centimeters. Listen, I want to take a really quick break. I want to adjust this fan over here. This is Sister's Heart, where we stream live on IntellectualRadio.com via iHeartRadio. I am your host, Kim. We will be right back. I promise you 15 seconds. I just want to get the fan adjusted. Need to adjust the fan over here that was on my notes. This is Sister's Heart, where we stream live on IntellectualRadio.com via iHeartRadio, as well as Facebook Live. Listen, we're talking about a word that was dropped in my spirit today, well, not today, but earlier this week when my pastor spoke, and it was about God will deliver. God keeps his promise. He's not going to fall short of what he says that he's going to do. You can actually, you can expect it. You can count on it. God is true. He listens for his word. We understand that. But we as people, are we ready to be delivered? Are we ready to accept the changes that are necessary in our lives for our deliverance? The changes that are necessary in our lives for us to have a different walk and a different talk, a newness. Are we ready? Are we mature enough to appreciate the process of being delivered? Are we mentally prepared to be delivered when we know and when we ask God to deliver us? So I was talking about the 3 stages in the last segment. I was talking about the 3 stages of labor. Okay, we know labor to be delivery, and I love to use these type of analogies so we can see it, right? So that we can see what it is that I'm kind of trying to convey to you by way of the process. Okay, so the lady first has to, or the woman first has to have true labor, and her cervix has to completely dilate to 10 centimeters. Okay, 10 centimeters. That's the first process. And then the second stage of labor is from the 10 centimeters until the baby is delivered. Until these things line up, she cannot deliver. She cannot bring forth this baby. She can't bring forth this child. And she may want to. I've given birth to 2 children myself, and God is my witness. I practically begged, especially in the last one, practically begged them to give me a C-section. I wasn't dilating. The pain was agonizing, and I felt like I just could not do it. I felt like I couldn't go any further. I felt like I was going to die. And some of us feel like that. We feel like I've been in this for so long and I have not yet dilated. I have not yet reached the 10 centimeters. I'm at my boiling point. So you know what, Lord, just come on in and give me a C-section. But God requires us, there's some things that he requires from us, and realistically, he wants us to push. And God is behind us and in front of us and all over us, encouraging us to push. So then the third step, okay, in the stage is basically delivery of the placenta. And that in itself is painful, you guys. For those of us that have delivered children, that in itself is a painful process. But it's a process that's necessary, because you got to get all of those things that are out of you that's not good for you, that can't stay there. When you think about being delivered, when you think about, will God deliver me? Yes, he will. But will I be mature enough to take and handle that delivery process? It's not an easy process. It's not a beautiful process. Sometimes we think of, the knight in shining armor coming to rescue us. Sometimes we think about, sitting back one day and all of a sudden, poof, our situation has changed. There's some things that you're going to have to fight for. There's some things that you are truly going to have to let go of who you are as a person in the way that you know how to do things today, and say, you know what, I'm going to die to myself today. And I said it, Kim had to reevaluate Kim. Kim had to look at how Kim was doing things. And, when I was thinking about, Lord God, deliver me, I'm asking him to deliver me, but I still want to continue on drinking. I'm asking God to deliver me, but I still want to continue on in a manner of fornication. I'm asking God to deliver me, but I'm still going back to that same pit. God wants us to be mature people, and I'm not going to just say Christians, but people, period. God wants us to be mature when it comes down to our relationship with him, because he's going to be serious about us. So we have to be serious about him. We have to be serious about what it is that he's trying to birth out of us. Okay. So you want to push. You want to push, but you just may not be ready. Like I said, when I was going through my little ups and my little downs, I was not ready. You want to be out of the fire, but you're not ready to be out of the fire. The refiner is looking to see, can I see my image? The refiner is looking to see, will I see me in that mirror? Will I see me in that crucible? Will I see me in that fire? And until God sees himself, you're not ready to push. You want life to be better, but you're not ready. Some of us want life to be better for us, but we won't even take the steps to make life better. You want a better job, you want a better paying job, but you won't apply yourself to go get a better paying job. Does that make any sense? Or we're going to say, well, God is going to do it, and we're sitting on the couch, literally, not figuratively, literally sitting on the couch, waiting for someone to knock on the door. And I believe in miracles, signs, and wonders. The word teaches us that they're there. So I believe it. I don't doubt it for 1 second, but you got to participate in your process. The woman who goes into labor, guess what? She has to go to the hospital. She's trying to participate in the process. She has somebody that's there with her, encouraging her to breathe, encouraging her to push when she's supposed to push, encouraging her to stop when she's supposed to stop, even though she wants to continue on. God can and God will deliver, but are you ready? He's looking for two things. He's looking for a broken and contrite heart. Okay, those are things that God will not despise. He will not turn that away. A broken and a contrite heart. We don't want to be broken. We do not want to be broken. We think that everything is supposed to be peaches and creams in relationships and marriages. Hence why you see marriages are falling apart. Just two things will break up a marriage. Just an argument and some bills. Then all of a sudden we're just done with each other. We don't want to be broken. We don't want to have a contrite heart. So God is looking for those things. He requires those. And David said it best. David said, create in me a clean heart, oh God, and renew a right spirit within me. Help me to mature. Make me over and make me better so that I can be mature enough to receive the deliverance that you have for me. We deceive ourselves when we say we want things to change for us. We're deceiving ourselves, in our lives, and there's nothing that we're doing to activate the change. You have to become an agent of the change that you desire and that you seek. You have to become an agent of that. You have to take ownership of your life. You have to take accountability for your delivery. You have to take accountability for your deliverance, because God told us, he said, just call upon me. I will deliver you. I will. That's a promise. That's a commitment that we're getting from God. When God delivered the people out of Egypt, they murmured and they complained. They weren't ready to be delivered. How you murmuring and how you complaining? When God delivered the people from their enemies, guess what? They still turned around and worshiped false gods. How does that happen when you want God to deliver you, right? But yet you won't even give him the honor nor the glory. You won't even give him the respect. But I'm a firm believer, and I have said this before, people that do not respect themselves do not know how to give respect. People that do not honor themselves, watch this, that do not honor themselves do not know how to give honor. I have no problems honoring anyone. And I've had positions of titles and all of that throughout the workplace, throughout the church, throughout the ministry. Today, just call me Kim. Just call me Kim. I can give honor because I know that I honor myself with or without a title. I can give it because I have it. I have it for who I am as a person. But these are people that chose still not to even honor God. You know, Jesus is performing miracles after miracle after miracle, and people will still doubt. How does it make sense? If God can do it yesterday, then why cannot God do it today? If God did it last year, I don't care if you have to go back into your mindset of 10, 20 years ago. 10, 20 years ago. If God did it then, he can still do it today. God will deliver, but are you ready? Can you handle being delivered? Can you handle saying, I'm not going to return back to the mud? I'm not going to return back to the miry clay. Can you handle saying, you know what? If I have to do something different in my life, then I will do something different. I spoke last week with you guys concerning Ruth and Naomi. There was nothing left for them in Moab. We understand biblically days and biblical times, I should say, when a woman lost her husband, she essentially had nothing, right? And we have three women, it was three women who lost their husbands. And one woman, being Naomi, lost her husband as well as her sons. And she had her daughter-in-laws. She was encouraging them to return back to their homes. She told them, listen, I have nothing for you. Go back to your homes. I'm about to go back to my place of birth, right? And Ruth, her daughter-in-law, said, I'm going to stay with you. I'm going to leave Moab, which was a place that represented nothing for her. And I'm going to go to Judah. And we know that Judah means praise. She wasn't looking for a husband. If you read the story, she wasn't looking for a husband, but she knew that where she was at, there was nothing there for her. And she knew that if I follow this woman, her God is going to be my God, and her people are going to be my people. And that means for her, in terms of her matured mindset, she knew that she was going to have something better than what she was leaving. She knew that what she was leaving, meaning nothing, I'm going to move off into something. And Judah means praise. She was moving into a place of praise. She was moving into a place of glory and honor because she had made a mature decision to move. She made a mature decision to take ownership of her life and to recognize that I can't stay here, but if I move there, then maybe, just maybe, I can have something better for me. We have to grow up. We have to grow up and take control of our destinies. There's nothing worse than a person that is 40, 50, even in their 30s, and still blaming their childhood on their situation today. There's nothing worse than a person that does that. You can be delivered the very moment you want to be delivered, but you have to activate your deliverance. You have to activate your faith, and you have to walk therein. It has to be a conscious decision that I will not die, but that I will live. I will not stay in a place that is no longer feeding me. I will not stay in a place or a position that's no longer conducive to what it is I'm trying to do. I want to push, and I'm going to allow my body to get to 10 centimeters so that I can. Listen, I'm going to take myself one more quick short break. We will be right back. This is Sister's Heart, where we stream live on IntellectualRadio.com via iHeartRadio, as well as Facebook Live. I will be right back. 15 seconds. again, you've tuned in to Sister's Heart, where we stream live on IntellectualRadio.com via iHeartRadio as well as Facebook Live. I'm your host, Kim. It's a wonderful day. It's a Father's Day weekend. And just again, happy Father's Day to all of the fathers, to my father, may he rest in peace, Frank Bruno, to my stepfather, Richard Barrett, to the father of my children, Joseph Richardson, my ex-husband. Just happy Father's Day to everyone. I just, again, I'm just loving the fact that God is doing a work. He's doing a work for his people. And we know that there's so much that's going on, but that's why we have to mature. We have to mature in our mindsets. We can no longer afford to be part of the problem. We as people have to be part of the solution. We have to be part of the solution. It's not enough to just tell somebody to just pray, right? We get it. Pray until something happens. But we have to check where we're at in the process. Where are you at in the process? If you have not dilated to 10 centimeters, if you have not even begun to dilate, then you're not even ready to push. You have to evaluate yourself. You have to do a gut check and say, where am I at mentally? Am I ready to have better? Am I ready to walk away just so that I can have better? Am I ready to leave Egypt? I've been in there for so long, but am I ready to leave it? Am I ready to serve a true and a living God? And I'm not talking about for shape, form, or fashion, how you dress, and we know how to shout and we understand prayer. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about truly getting yourself together where we mature as people and we work to make a difference in the lives of our families, our children, in the lives of our communities, in the lives of people that we affect, the ones that we come in contact with. If it's nothing more than just walking past someone and having a smile on your face, I can make a difference in someone's life just by doing that. Walking past someone and just saying hello. I can make a difference in that. But it's about where I'm at. And that's why I said, can you handle being delivered? Can you handle understanding the process of being delivered? Because God will deliver. He will deliver you. He will meet you right where you are at. Don't let nobody tell you different. Meet you right where you're at. And I don't care where you're at. I was on the dance floor downtown at a club, paid $20 to get in there, where God met me. So he will meet you where you're at. But are you mature enough to say, Lord, I receive it. Lord, I accept it. Lord, here is my yes. I'm at 10 centimeters and I am ready to push. Now I'm ready to push. Now I can deliver this baby. Now I can bring forth what you have for me by way of my destiny. Now I can do it. I couldn't do it, 3 weeks ago. I couldn't do it, 6 weeks ago. Just because you're 9 months pregnant doesn't mean it's time to have the baby. You still have to wait. You have to wait for the process. So be mature enough to accept it. Be mature enough to accept where you are at and accept God's deliverance when you are ready to accept it. There's nothing worse, I say it again, going back and forth, wishy-washy. The Bible says a double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways. One day you're hot, one day you're cold, one day you're cold, one day you're hot. You just don't know how you want to be. You are not ready. You need to go somewhere and sit down. Get back in the fire. Let that dung be washed up off of you. Let your mind be renewed. Go somewhere and get restored so that you can be mature enough as a Christian, as a believer, that when God delivers you, you can stay delivered. When God sets you free, then you can stay free. Up and down, in and out, that's not of God. Oh, I'm here to tell you it's not of God. And that's not where God would want us to be today. He wants us to be free. Who the Son sets free is free indeed. That means it's done. It's a sealed deal. Okay? God doesn't deliver you for you to fall back. You may, but you don't stay there. You don't stay there and you don't live in that place. All right. I want to share this last little word with you. Read this last night with my friend, Minister Paul Evans. God bless you for, again, all the things you impart into my life. We read this actually it was we were singing. It turned into a song. Psalms 27:4. Listen, you guys. It says, "One thing have I desired of the Lord, that will I seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord and to inquire in his temple." You have to mature to that level. You have to mature to that level. One thing have I desired of the Lord, that I will seek after, right? We're looking for cars and houses. There's, God bless any preacher that's preaching that, okay? But we're looking for that. All of that from God. Lord's going to bless you with this, and Lord's going to bless you. It's all materialistic. But here it says that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life. Listen, the days of my life, not when I'm dead and gone, but the days of my life. I wanna mature in my deliverance. I want to mature in what God has for me. And I promise you, if I'm seeking after him, then all those other things are going to be added to me. I don't have to seek after a car to prove that I'm a believer. I don't have to seek after a big house to prove that I'm a believer. I prove that by way of my walk and my talk and how I live and how I give, right? Because when you're loving, you give because God gave. So let us mature in our deliverance. Let us mature and be ready for it. Let us truly have our hearts and our minds made up that when I turn around this time, when I start walking out the door this time, when I leave this situation alone this time, that I will not return, that I will not go back. There's nothing left there. Lot's wife looked back. And we know what happened to Lot's wife. She turned into a pillar of salt, right? Don't look back. Accept it, your deliverance. Be mature enough to say, you know what? If God is delivering me, he obviously has something better for me. He obviously has a better waiting for me through my deliverance. I'm ready. I'm at 10 centimeters. I can push. Listen, you guys, this is Sister's Heart, where I truly just love you. I love the fact that this platform can be used to help. If it's just one person, then to God be the glory. I'm going to accept it. I'm Kim. I'm your host. And we will see you next week. Got some things coming up concerning Sister's Heart. It's called SOAR. That's SOAR 2017. It's going to be in August. It's going to be huge. And it's going to be for a very, very small crowd. So I tell you, when you RSVP, you better get it in sooner rather than later, because the seats are going to be limited. That's going to be SOAR, SOAR 2017 for Sister's Heart. That's going to be in August. That's SOAR. That's Sisters Ordained, Anointed, and Restored 2017. So be looking for it, you guys. I love you. I'm not sure if I'm going to see you all next week. Next week is my birthday. It's Saturday. I'm excited about that. And have no shame in telling my age. I'll be 46. So to God be the glory. I love Derek, Eric, Shatara, Malika, and Tori, as well as my little sister, Jonique. Happy birthday, Willie. Who is my really sweet friend. She's like a sister. Happy birthday, Willie. Happy birthday to my cousin, Stevie. He's 45. He's trying to catch me, but only for a minute. He's enjoying his birthday in Philly. There's a lot of birthdays, you guys. I apologize. I didn't write it down. But I love you all. I love you with the love of God. Cheryl, I thank you for your continued support. I bless you today, my sister, my friend. You all, I'll see you all maybe, like I said, maybe next week for the birthday show. Maybe. Don't know. But if I don't, then you all know I still love you and God bless you. Be praying for me. You all pray for me, all right? Listen, if you're looking for a church home, meet me. I'm on my way back to the south side. You guys, 8001 South Ashland Avenue, where 8001 South Ashland Avenue, where my pastor is the Bishop Christopher L. Johnson, and our First Lady, Lady Tabitha Johnson, will meet you there and love you until you are at a place of restoration. That is Restoration Again, Tabernacle Bible Church. And listen, if you have a church home, but you're just looking for some fellowship, you just want to be somewhere where you can pick your feet up and put them back down, then again, meet me at 8001 South Ashland Avenue, Restoration Tabernacle Bible Church. Our service starts at 12:30, and I promise you, we love the Lord there, and we don't mind giving God the glory, because God gives us the glory. Amen. There's the honor. You guys, love you. See you next week. Bye-bye. wake up